Greetings and welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. My name is Steve Taddei, and for tonight's edition of Toastmaster Time, I will be your host. Now, with all Toastmasters meetings, we have prepared speeches and an evaluator. So the speaker will get feedback and some ideas on how their speech could be even better the next time they give it. For tonight, our evaluator is our very own Kimmy Avery. Kimmy, welcome to Toastmaster Time.
It is great to be here, Steve.
Well, we appreciate you having you, and we have two great speakers tonight. The first speaker is Jenna Sanchez. Can you tell us what's in store for us?
Jenna is going to share with us a great story about how she got roped into doing the Speakers Bureau, the District 57 Speakers Bureau for Toastmasters.
All right. And then the second speaker is Karina Aragon. What will she be talking about?
Karina is going to be talking about astrology, more than just your daily horoscope. She'll be talking about a variety of things and why you should be interested in your own astrology.
Well, this sounds like an exciting night. I can't wait to hear both presentations.
I'm looking forward to it too.
All right. Terrific. Well, Jenna Sanchez, welcome to Toastmasters Time.
Thanks, Steve. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure having you. Now, what Toastmasters Club do you belong to?
I'm a member of two clubs. I'm in Vallejo Entrepreneurs and Business Professionals. That was my first club.
All right.
And then I very quickly joined Berkeley Entrepreneurial Toastmasters as well.
All right. Terrific. So you're getting quite an experience. What brought you to Toastmasters?
I wanted to feel less nervous when I was talking about my new business.
Well, this is the place to be. Have you been involved in any special projects with Toastmasters?
Quite a few, which you'll hear about in my speech, but the biggest and most recent is being a member of the Speakers Bureau Committee for District 57.
The Speakers Bureau. Have you held club officer positions?
I've done Vice President of Education a few times, and I've also taken a shot at President as well.
All right. Now, with all this experience you've had in Toastmasters, how has it helped you outside of Toastmasters?
So much. Primarily table topics, if we're being frank. The ahs and ums have slipped from my vocabulary on a regular basis, and it's helped me with my impromptu speaking quite a bit.
So speaking more clearly and thinking on your feet.
Absolutely.
All right. Terrific. Well, you've got a great speech tonight. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Well, we'll let you get set up, and then I'll tell the audience what to expect, and I can't wait to hear your presentation.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Terrific. So Jenna Sanchez, she is working on a Pathways project from Innovative Planning. The project is connecting with storytelling. The purpose is to practice using a story within the speech or giving a speech that is a story. Jenna Sanchez, always pick up. Always pick up. Jenna Sanchez.
I have this incredible friend named Joanne. She's enthusiastic, she's positive, and she believes in me. There's just one small problem. She believes in me so much that she finds all of these opportunities for me out in the world. And I tend to get calls saying, "You'd be perfect for it." It's reached the point where now when I see her pop up on my phone, I think, what's she gonna rope me into now? Maybe I should send it to voicemail. But I never do. I always pick up. Do you know why? It's because every time Joanne talks me into doing something that pushes me out of my comfort zone, I learn something and I become a better person by the time it's over. This started way back in 2019. I was a scared, young little entrepreneur at a local networking group. Joanne welcomed me with open arms and made me feel like I belonged. She, very shortly after meeting, was launching a Toastmasters club in our area for entrepreneurs and business professionals, and she immediately roped me in. She said, "You'd be perfect for it, you'd love it, you need to join." So I joined. I dragged my husband along for the ride too, and she was right. I did love it. I felt my fears around public speaking melt a little bit with every meeting. And that wasn't all. She had more in store for me. A few months later, she said, "You know, contest season's coming up. you should really think about competing. Competing? I said. I had no idea that I could compete in speeches. But I found myself on that area stage in front of a huge auditorium of people competing in both the speech and evaluation contests, despite my better judgment. I learned that I could speak in front of a room with 100+ people and live to tell the tale. She said, "You should think about being a club officer." Okay, sure. Maybe you should do that 45-minute keynote speech that they're looking for over in Pittsburgh. If you say so. Have you heard about Toastmasters time? Here I stand before you. But her biggest ask of me came about 1.5 years ago. I was driving home from work when she called, and I thought, this must be a social call. Surely there's nothing else she could get me to do in the Toastmasters realm. I'm already a member of 2 clubs. I'm on the officers committee, and I just did the speech contest. This must be social. Boy, I was wrong. She called and let me know that District 57 was looking to start a speakers bureau, and they were hunting for committee members to help get the whole thing up and running. I'd be perfect for it. No, no, no. I immediately told her she was barking up the wrong tree. I don't even know what a speakers bureau is. How could I be the right person for this? Per usual, she used her power of persuasion, and by the time I got home, I had a calendar invite to the next meeting and was fully committed to the cause. I discovered by working with the other committee members that we wanted the Speakers Bureau to be a resource for District 57, for its exceptional speakers, its clubs, and the communities the district lives in. Speakers that wanted to expand their reach and get more speaking opportunities could apply to the Bureau with a video submission. Upon acceptance, they would be registered on the Speakers Bureau website. They would have a one-sheet featured, along with a link to their videos and a direct means of contacting them so that the world could contact them directly to get out and speak. It was also to be an asset for the clubs. No more need to scramble to find the right speaker for your speech contest or event, when you could just go to the D57 Speakers Bureau website and find a list of talented Toastmasters that are excited to go out and speak. Just a few emails away. But we also wanted to help our speakers expand their reach beyond Toastmasters International. And we wanted to give back to the community. And that's why the Bureau has worked to do outreach with volunteer organizations and businesses within the communities of District 57, so that our gifted and talented speakers can go out into the world and share their message, and our community benefits from their speaking expertise. Helping launch the Speakers Bureau was one of the most arduous, stressful, challenging things I've ever done, but it's been one of the most rewarding as well. I am so proud to announce that it launched in May of last year, and it is slowly growing into the thing that we hoped it would be. Joanne's overwhelming belief in what I am capable of has changed me from a scared entrepreneur at a networking meeting and transformed me to the person you see on this stage. So I encourage you, when the overzealous person in your life that believes in you more than you believe in yourself calls with an opportunity, don't send them to voicemail. Pick it up and say yes.
All right. Well, that was fantastic. Kimmy, that was a fantastic speech. What do you think? What were some of your observations?
I loved her vocal variety. She used some loud words and sort of got us involved and then calmed down a little bit. She really used her gestures well. I really enjoyed the story that she told about the progression. Those were kind of my favorite things.
Right. The story about the progression and the transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. I liked one of the phrases she used was, every time you get out of your comfort zone, you become a better person. And so many of us are afraid to get out of that comfort zone But look what happened with Jenna, where she took the risk and what she's accomplished.
Being willing to say yes, even though you're terrified, is a big skill. And once you realize the gift that that brings, you can do amazing things that you'd never even conceived of.
Yeah.
It sounds like her mentor was really that person for her.
Well, that's fantastic. I look forward to hearing more about Speakers Bureau, and I think Jenna got a lot of people excited about it. So thank you very much, Kimmy.
Reminds me that I need to sign up for it.
All right. Terrific. So we appreciate Jenna's speech. We appreciate the feedback from Kimmy. We're going to take a short break now, and then we're going to hear from Karina Aragon.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom requires leadership, and leadership requires oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
All right, now it is time for our second speaker, and that would be Karina Aragon. Karina, welcome to Toastmaster Time.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And what club do you belong to?
I belong to Heart to Heart.
Heart to Heart, okay. And how long have you been in Toastmasters?
I've been in Toastmasters for 5 years.
5 years. And what kind of projects have you worked on?
I've worked on, well, I did Speechcraft.
Okay.
And I joined right before 2020, where we kind of all went online. So we're really working on hybrid and doing more videos and connecting with people outside of our local area.
All right. So with all the hybrid activity, you've learned a lot of new skills, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
How have they helped you in other parts of your life?
It's helped me tremendously because I had to move a lot of my businesses online, online readings, and also YouTube. So it really helps me speak online.
All right, terrific. Have you held any club officer positions?
I am actually an associate of membership right now.
Okay.
And for the last 5 years, I was an associate for the education.
All right. So a lot of different activities then. Yes. Well, you've got an excellent speech. I'm intrigued by your speech. Are you ready?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Why not?
All right. Why not? Well, we'll give you a little time to get set up.
Okay.
And then I will read the objectives and what's your title.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks a lot. So Karina Aragon is working from the engaging humor path, writing a speech with purpose. Karina Aragon, unlocking your potential. The power of understanding your birth chart. Unlocking your potential. The power of understanding your birth chart. Karina Aragon.
Have you ever been asked what your sun sign is? Do you even know what that means? Well, there was a time when I didn't know what that meant, and all I knew was the horoscope in the newspaper. About 10 years ago, I read an article, and it said that people are being misdiagnosed with bipolar based on their moon sign. Moon sign? What's that? That's where the rabbit hole began. So there are something called your top 3, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Hi, I'm Karina, your lucid living coach. I have a sun in Leo, a moon in Virgo, and a Leo rising. I have a really good friend of mine and a client. He has a sun in Cancer, a moon in Aquarius, and a rising of Virgo. These are three different. You have fixed, cardinal, and mutable. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the sun. Now the sun is the position where the sun was positioned in what constellation when you were born. This represents your personality, your warmth, your energy, and how you shine. Now we move on to the moon sign. The moon sign changes signs every 2.5 days. This really lets someone know what their emotions are. And it's kind of like the mother and the home. And you really don't know this about someone unless you go really into their home or you really get to know them. And then lastly, the rising. The rising sign is based on the eastern horizon when you took your first breath. And this is what we use in horoscopes. Yes, you've heard me right. We write horoscopes, and predictive astrology is used with your rising sign. Very interesting, right? So let me think. Rising sign, the eastern horizon. Then you have your ascendant. So you see there is a lot more to astrology than really meets the eye. So let's see. The sun in Cancer. Cancer being the nurturer, the mother, intuitive, the crab, very protective. And then we have the moon, Aquarius. Aquarius is very eccentric and it intellectualizes its emotions because it's an air sign. It's also very unpredictable. And then we have the rising in Virgo. Now, Virgo is an earth sign, but it's a grounded Gemini. So they're always really busy all over the place. Your rising is your appearance, how you come off to the world. Your ascending qualities as well, what you're here to learn. So this is more about being organized, being diligent in work. It's also like you'll notice Virgo risings where their eyes are always moving around and they're really gaining all this information in. And you'll see them stop for a moment just because they're really detailed and analytical. They want to like understand everything and make it practical in their own life. I come across so many great people in the line of work, and all these things, all this astrology and like the sun, moon, and rising, they really help me gauge my client to understand who they are and what they need and what their communication style is. Now, I'm not going to even get into any more about astrology because I know I've already given you enough. But there are so many resources on the internet that are free that you can look up your natal birth chart and you can get to know it a little more. So if you have never looked up your astrology birth chart, I highly recommend that you do that because you can learn so much about not only yourself, the people around you, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, and then you can get to know a lot more about how you can interact, how you can communicate, and how you can have a better relationship with the people around you and your clients. So thank you for sticking around for the rest of this speech, and I will see you the next time.
All right, Karina, fantastic. That was amazing. What do you think, Kimmy?
I thought it was really fun. It makes me feel a little bit more inclined to go explore my birth chart.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting, and what I gather, we heard about the sun, the moon, and the rising star, and then I could see a 4-week workshop, or even a 5-week workshop where Karina opened it up with the message she had tonight, and did one on each area, and then a wrap-up, because there's just so much information and all of that. There'd be a lot to learn, but there's just a lot of things I had never thought about, but are intriguing.
Absolutely. And so what I loved about her explanation, it was simple enough that I was able to grasp it, because I've looked at astrology stuff before, and sometimes it's like, ooh, way too much for me. I'm the kind of person who reads my horoscope in the newspaper, and if I like it, it's correct, and if I don't like it, it's not. Right? So it makes me want to learn a little bit more about it. I'm intrigued. What I'd like to have heard a little bit more was about the client. She mentioned that person at the beginning, and then she didn't go into the experience with the chart with him, and I would have liked to have known more about that.
All right. Well, one thing I'd like to say that I really liked, it's the presentation style, and it would work for any speech that Karina gave. She was actually talking to us.
Yes.
This wasn't a canned presentation to where she memorized it and she delivered it. With her pauses and with her gestures, I felt like she was talking to me.
And she had questions, you know, she, and like the gestures and thinking about it and sort of drawing us in. I really liked that about it too.
Right. Well, it was fantastic. So anyway, I appreciate your evaluations. I appreciate the conversation with you. And I appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight to Toastmasters TV. That's our show for tonight. We tape in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you would like to know more about Toastmasters Time TV, please go to toastmasterstime.org. If you'd like to know more about District 57 Toastmasters, please go to d57tm.org. And if you'd like to know more about Toastmasters International, please go to toastmasters.org. We are grateful and we appreciate the talented staff and volunteers at the Media Center in Palo Alto, California, where we film this show. And we're grateful for Jenna, Karina, and Kimmy for the presentations they made tonight. My name's Steve Taddei. On behalf of everyone from Toastmasters TV, we encourage you to join Toastmasters and keep on talking.